make sure you are okay. So this is the Android repository, and the first step for you is to get comfortable with this code base in your local environment. That means make sure you have it properly in your Android Studio opened, and for that you can just fork it, then you can just go to code and copy it, and then you can just get the project in your local system in your Android Studio. And then make sure you are you just went through the contribution guidelines. Here is these, we just went through these yesterday, so we are not going to repeat that. And after that you can just start by finding some issues or bugs, or you can just check if there is any existing one, then you can solve them. But I have already found one for this latest test, and we are going to solve that. So, and yes, for our yesterday, just let me give you a quick update. So this was the issue for closing keyboard on IME action. If you haven't watched it, you can just watch the initial part of our live yesterday, that is day 6, and I reported it here also, and they have marked this as upstream issue. That means this was the issue from library, and I marked the issue on library search preferences, and I have also added a link here in this ticket. If it will be open, then I will just show you. Okay, till then let's discuss about what is the issue today. So the issue is, here is the deck. You can just create, so when you run this application, I hope you can run it successfully. It's not a issue, it's a very simple task. You can just create a deck here. So once the deck is created, it will just show here, and this is the default deck, and this is the test deck that I have created. When I click on it, there is no card in it, so it will just show me that this deck is empty and I have a add option. When I click on add, I can just add some cards and front back, everything I can add. But the problem is, this will be by default added to this default deck, and this is the bug here. When I'm clicking on this deck, and then I'm clicking on add, so this should be added, like this should be added to, what is this? Okay, that's another issue, we will not focus on that. So this should be added to from where we are coming to. So this is the test deck that should be set here. So when we are clicking on test deck, this should come that this deck is empty, and when we click on add, so the default value will be set to test deck. So that is the expected behavior, and we are gonna solve that. What we are gonna do, first of all, the first thing is, when we click on deck, this is coming. So we know that this snack bar is coming, so we have to find where is the code for this snack bar. And when we are clicking on add, so when we are clicking on add, suppose we are navigating to another activity, and for that activity, what we have to do, we just have to set it. Okay, let me test one more thing. If we are selecting the same value again, then nothing happens. But this deck can be opened multiple times. That's another bug that you can also report. If we can click on it multiple times, this will be opened multiple times. Yeah, we can solve that another day, but today, if we click on add, so first of all we have to find this text. This deck is empty, so let's just find this deck is empty. Here is the string value, and we are gonna copy the string name, and we are gonna search for it where it is used. There are two places that it is used. Create deck dialog. When we are creating a deck, that time a dialog will be shown, and when we are in a deck picker, that time also. Okay, let's first go to this place. Okay, let me zoom in. I hope now you can see the code. Okay, this is another dialogue. Empty, that is not what we want. Deck name cannot be empty. We want this thing, deck picker. So show snack bar for this, and there is a action for this snack bar, set action, that will have the text as add, and when we are clicking on it, so it is showing add note. So add note is a function that is navigating to this activity. Yeah, so this is a activity, I guess. We just have to add some. So this is called from 4 5 6 places. Okay, this legacy code should migrate away from this and use with colon instead. So let us see. Hi Saifuddin, you are currently migrating to RoomDB from SQLite 1 for an open source Android app. Okay, that's a very large task, I guess. But when I do so, the existing data in the table is lost. Can you help me? I think it's a very large task. If you haven't done this already for your personal project, I won't recommend it directly doing it for any open source project, because then there is a very high chance of having some bugs there. So you should have some migration strategy, and I think there are a lot of videos available on that on YouTube. You can just check them out, and then you can have I guess then you can better, like, just create a database and have one or two columns, and then just migrate to adding multiple columns. So then you will have better understanding. Add note, add note. Floating action menu. Okay, this is the floating action menu. Yeah, and for this we are calling deckpicker.add note. So what we can do is we can just add optional parameter, that is the deck ID. We can pass here the optional deck ID. Ensure that the deck option refers to the selected deck. Where are we calling this function? Inside of this only. Empty regular deck. Yes. Okay, what is the default value for this? That is type. Okay, what is the default value for this? That is type alias long. So maybe we can pass it as null, and it is Kotlin, so we can handle it properly. What is the error here? Where there is no error, and now we have to pass. Will be called with fragment as note editor. Chance if there is a typo, a card is presentation, and all these things. Let's just see the UI. Okay, this is what we want, and what we need is we need to check this. We need to check the extra deck ID. Here it is. Flashcard contracts. Okay, here it is only mentioned once. Okay, where we are navigating from here, the deck ID of the deck where the note should be added. PD of the deck where the note should be added. Yes, mm, that is what we want. There is no error here. Okay, let me zoom in this file directly. Okay, here it is. We are on the on create. We are getting the DID, but I guess that is the problem here. Add note is there, DID is there, tags is there. So probably it can work. Let me just confirm. Where is this? Add note. Where is this extra DID? So here the ID is deck ID, and where is this? Okay, we don't need this deck ID. Let me copy this and dot extra DID. Okay, and where is the function? This is the note. Okay, here it is. They are setting it in the setup editor, and then get long from extra DID. That is what we want. What is this error? Type resolution could not resolve the configuration. Amazon debug class path. I think that's internet issue probably, because it can't resolve the file. So I think they are setting it, so that won't be an issue. It will work now, but let's just fix the build. Let's clean and rerun it, and it will work. Until then, we can also report this issue. So let me know if you guys also watch Shark Tank India new season. I enjoy watching it in my free time. Okay, till then let me record the video for this, and then we can report it. Handle context menu selection. Okay, what is this? Okay, that is our out of scope, so we won't change this anyway. We only wanted to change this with the deck ID. So if you can see the screen, here is the I reported it here, and the PR is also. And yeah, that's it, I guess. Let's raise a new issue. So our application has built, and now it's time to test. The deck is empty. Click deck ID is set here, and if we add it, hi, hi 2, then it should be added to this. Yeah, here you can see the number is 1, so it is added there. Hi, and the answer is hi 2. Hi 2, yeah, and it's easy. Okay, so that's cool. We have just fixed the small bug and we can raise a PR for this. Let me create a issue, and if they acknowledge the issue, then we can raise the PR. I have raised the bug template because the behavior is not expected. This is not duplicate. We will check if it is not duplicate. Deck ID not set for empty selected deck. How to reproduce? Create a new deck. Click on the new empty created deck and click on add option from the snack bar, and let's check if tech related issues are there. Click on the add option from the snack bar. The deck ID is not set in the deck picker. Yes. Behavior. The deck ID should be set in the deck picker, and we can add the video explanation here for better triage. Let me just get the video from my phone. So now we have to just find if there is any bug related to, if there is any report related to this. Widget for empty deck should behave as a deck picker. Hello Harsh. So let's check deck picker don't think there should not be any issue because that is a quick fix, and they are not they will not keep it for a long time from 2024. So I think there is no dark theme. Deck picker doesn't show the progress, so it's not there. Let's report it. Let's add the video to it, and so what we can do is maybe we can just find the bug. We have already found one. Just find the bug. We have already found one, and that is pretty easy. When we are in not in a deck picker. When we are creating a note and there can be some dialog from this, so we can click on this multiple times and there can be a lot of decks available. Here you can see, so this can be a bug. Let's also see the code for this. We know it is in a deck picker. It's better to it's my recommended way to check the bug from the UI perspective. It's easy. If it is related to UI, then it's easy to find that just by checking the UI. Okay, it's not in the deck picker because it's in the note picker. Add note, add note editor, and here is the note editor spinner. So note deck spinner, we just have to find this where we are clicking on it. Here it is, deck spinner selection is equal to deck spinner selection with the context spinner, show all decks, etc. Show all decks, etc. Inside the setup editor, we are just initializing this and initializing the deck picker. Let's find this. If built version is this and I is equal to 0, I think it's useless to see this. We need this. Display deck selection dialog. If the dialog is already up, then we don't need to show it. Let's check. How can we check? We have a dialog object here. Okay, it is only called one time. Initialize, select deck by ID, initialize, okay, it is inside of a suspend call, that is why it's happening here. Instant note editor activity. Okay, spinner dot on touch listener, we are opening this. We just have to check if it is already opened, then if it is already called, then we don't need to call it again. I think this is the code which is running. Okay, how can we check if it is once clicked, then we should not do it again? We can have a internal variable for this, like here drop down deck drop. Let's try this approach. Private where, let's set it to false initially, and when we are calling this function, this will be quickly marked as true because this is a suspend call. And when we are closing this, so dialog listener is there. Okay, we have to know when it is closed. If it is already opened, then we will return, else we will no code for this thing. Let's complete this. Okay, it's still loading. It's still loading. Now let's see. We can go to adding a deck. We can click on it multiple times. and the bug is still here. Hmm, why it is still here? We are marking it to true after checking this. If this is responsible or not. Let's see. The class name is deck. Okay, we can skip this for now and let's raise our PR. Let's revert this.